The phone rang, my app froze once again. So give just a minute to get everybody up here. Let me put everybody back where they were so I can finish. I was almost done and I get a phone call and the whole phone freezes. I was able to see some of the comments, which was awesome. Hopefully everybody will pop back over here on it. I mean, I was like this far from being done. This far from being done. The joys. So yes, my app froze on me whenever I get a phone call come through. So if I get another phone call, I'm done for the day. That's it. I've finished. I can't handle. I'm done for the day. All right. So I covered back. Don't think others may have jumped over. I know. I'm doing what I can. We had like 30 people in there. And I'm like this far from being done. And I got a phone call and it froze up my phone. My internet's been choppy all week. I don't know why it does this. All right. So I covered you so far. So if you're catching the part 2, part 1 of today's was just talking about, let me find my pages. Just talking about just where we've come from. I was going to say Classical Academy Press Writing Rhetoric. I was thinking about that one. I really like IEW. I'm hoping IEW is it for us. Otherwise, I'll probably have to check that one out. Logic of English. Several years back, I used Logic of English, and it helped so much, but we couldn't get kind of past that. So I talked to you about doing history and science. I talked to you about thinking about doing My Father's World as an alternative to for my younger ones to kind of get going on the My Father's World cycle, but it just felt like too much stuff to go through. I told you about IEW and doing a forever streaming program that when you have it for younger kids, you could just order your basics and get covered in. Hey, I know I'm going to do a garden update. I just am not at the garden. So doing the IEW, so it'd cover fixed grammar styles and structure and styles, whatever it is. It would have that too. So I like that. I still like the Lost Tools of Writing, but I feel like I can't easily implement that. First Language Lessons has workbooks. I've been alternating between those and Total Language Plus for literature. Oh, nice. So, and keeping the younger kids on Christian Light Education for now. The older kids, I'd also add in like the 10 minutes of easy grammar, daily grams, and the spelling workout. And I don't use spelling I don't do a spelling test. We just work through the pages and understand the phonetics of why it works that way. All right, Spanish. So my oldest homeschooler, she's going to try and as an 8th grader take the Spanish 2 at the high school. I think she has an interest in taking Spanish 3 and 4. And I know my actual oldest child who's not being homeschooled anymore is going to do Spanish 3 next year. I'm looking at Classical Academic Press for Spanish for Children A, level A, because you can do that with a video subscription, which makes it about $95, which, is a lot, but I'm like I said, I'm contemplating homeschool, our private school, and seeing the money amount I'd spend in that. So let's look at what it would cost and what it would be if I picked what I really liked. I like BJU, but it seemed there wasn't enough practice. Yeah, I'm thinking she would do Spanish for Children A this year, and then A this year, but next year she would be 7th grade, and she could go ahead and take the Spanish 1 and then do just like Lottie's doing and take Spanish 2 in 8th grade at the high school, was my thinking. Or I might let her go take Spanish at the middle school, would be another one. My littler ones, I was going to do the Classical Academic Press 2 for Song School Spanish 1. Tell me what y'all think about that one, because that one I'm a little bit on the road for. I hope it would be something good. You're supposed to be learning a lot of vocabulary. What's really nice is where we live, 3/4 of our county population speaks Spanish, either because they're bilingual or it's their primary one. A couple of my older kids have taken a combination of online public school classes for math. I'm not going to do the online one. I got to see the back end of that. That's a hot mess in my county. Just saying. It's not predictable. Trying to figure out 4th grade math. My son is getting bogged down with Horizons, trying to decide between CLE, Saxon with Nicole, the math lady, or BJU with DVDs. Why is it so hard? Well, and I'm like trying to figure out drills because I want them to be drilled, and I was going to buy a drill book, but we could just use extra math for drilling, so that works out good. But I'm looking at Song School Spanish because I figured it'd be fun to learn. My 8-year-old is just like, I want to take Spanish 1 because they all, because my kids talk in Spanish 1, Spanish 2, when they talk about things. So he wants to get started, and that's not a problem. But doing the videos with that's $84. Sam's Club offers homeschool foreign language on sale sometimes if you needed supplemental. Well, and that's the other thing too, is I'm going to put him on Duolingo though. That was the conversation we had, to give him a Duolingo account to let him get moving on it. So I'll be making sure they do Duolingo. The only other thing I'm trying to keep it simple. Science, history, math, reading, and writing. I kind of put those in one, even though there's different things off of that. Those 4 main ones, and Spanish. We use school arithmetic and the great drills and games. Oh, that's good. And I'm adding Spanish because, well, that's what we do. I love the idea of Latin, but unless I'm in a group setting learning Latin or teaching Latin, and I'm not in a place that I want to organize my own group, Duolingo has lots of content that we as a believing family, we're not okay with. You may want to take a look. So far, we haven't ran into that with Duolingo in the Spanish section, but we haven't done any of the other languages. I like Latin. Latin's really good for grammar. I don't want to organize my own homeschool group, and I don't want to do it without being in a group. So I think I'm going to let go of a lot of my Latin resources unfortunately, just to move on. Just to move on, because it's time to move on. And I want to, just like I've keep saying what Dana Kay says in The Minimum Mom, is live the life you have, not what you want to have, kind of. And I need to use the resources to be the homeschool mom I am, and not buy the resources to be the homeschool mom I want to be. The homeschool mom I want to be is one that understands and learns Latin with my children and can teach Latin. But the reality is, the homeschool mom I am, I don't have time to learn it with them. So I'm skipping the Latin. So, but I really want your input on Song School Spanish 1, because I really think that's good. All right, so the last topic I have for my kids that I want to teach my 2 older ones that I'm homeschooling, my middle school ones, is logic. I really seen the benefit of my kids learning logic. We did the fallacy detective in CC. I have the fallacy detective book, which I might start bringing back in like at dinner time or something. But I also bought the Classical Academic Press, their Arts of Argument, with the streaming videos. I already have it with 2 books because I was going to do it with my oldest 2 kids. With them, I have that. I even have their Latin one, so if we get frisky and decide to do it, I've got it. I've got the resource. So I'm going to bring that in. I already own it. I don't need to go buy it. So yeah. So with that said, adding supplements, a few supplements, it looks to be about $2,000. Using some of what I had, and that's like including like My Father's World, where now I'm like, nah, maybe I'll just, what did I put down? I was almost looking at a Reason for Science level B kit for my younger 2, because I thought that would be fun. But I'm like, why not just do cycle 1? I have this stuff online. I can get the science journals and the designs by Amy Snyder Design. And I can just put together a kit and do it that way. The other one I was thinking about adding just for fun is, thank you for sharing, it's very informative and helpful and affirming, is the Draw and Write Through History set, the volumes 1 through 6. It's like $50, but I don't know. So that's what I was looking at. Definitely keeping this part active. And at $2,000, and I'm just like, here's the big part. I don't want to stay at home. I actually sat down and I made a list. There's a homeschool group music that does like strings, choir, recorder, orchestra, or orchestra strings, band, like that. And talking to my kids about, of course I want to take all 4 of them and be like, okay, we're doing this on Mondays, because it happens on Mondays. But I know for sure my second to the bottom, my 8-year-old is so musically inclined, it's crazy. So I talked to him. I think he would love it. My oldest one is like, why do I want to do that? I'm like, come on, don't you want to have some musical, she doesn't seem interested. My second one, she said, my 6th grader's like, oh, I'd like to learn drums. I'm like, well, you could do that, So I'm not sure where that's going to go, and that very well might become, we're doing Kiwi science kits this summer. My kids love it, 1st and 3rd grade. And I was thinking about that too. Like, if I'm doing CC and the stuff that we already have that I'm not buying, I could get a kit. That would be an easy kit. It'd be easy to get a kit just to kind of enrich it. But I was looking at like the music, but then I'm trying to be conscious not to drag all 4 of them to have that experience, but drag the ones that wanted that experience. And I don't need to take everybody. So, there is that aspect that if my oldest takes high school classes, she has to get back and forth to the high school. But thankfully, my daughter will be taking high school classes. So if I make the days work and they work out, my oldest can just take her. She can go to my oldest daughter can take my oldest homeschooler with her, and they can go to school together. And then my oldest homeschooler could just go sit at the college those days, because our school system's doing a block system. They wouldn't even go every day. Another thing I did was I went online and took a look at a dinner theater. We have dinner theaters that are within an hour from us, and seeing about doing the dinner theater. So they have like a couple of kids theater that they do for a year. So writing those down, and then they have things my family would love. I don't know about your family, but things my family would love are musicals, believe it or not. My husband loves musicals too, and I don't know, we love musicals. And it's so funny because like that's one of those, it comes with everything you need to do different projects, so you don't have to run and wait, which one was that again? Carpenter Family. Now I got to get up close. Let's find, which one were you saying? The Kiwi. Yeah, Kiwi. Right, so you don't have to do it all. But I was looking, so they have like what I might take as my family is the sound. They're doing the Sound of Music. They're doing Singing in the Rain and Wizard of Oz. So I might, I'm looking at that to plan in. I was trying to find I'm trying to just make list of just supplements. Okay, here's ideas for theater. Here's ideas for going to museums. Here's ideas, just so I have them at my fingertips. I think my homeschool planner is literally going to be a binder. There's nothing I can find that is perfect for me, and I kind of need charts and lists and an overall view, not a daily increment one. So I'm trying to figure out my master plan on that. But I'm trying to come up with ideas to get us out of the house as much as possible. So those are things I'm working on right now, and planning out. And I'm not 100% committed on the curriculum or even homeschooling. I know that sounds crazy. I'm just taking time to pray on it. I really, my natural self, my flesh likes to have a decision immediately and start living it, and then within a month or two realizing why that was a bad decision. And I'm trying to break that cycle to do more of, let's look at like as if I'm doing both and then figure out what I'm doing. So yes, this is part 2. I'm so sorry this comes in at 1 hour of your day. I hope you got good laundry done. I'm looking for good ideas, and I don't know how to fix my app on my phone. Maybe I need to uninstall and reinstall it. I've looked for updates, but the phone freezes my YouTube every time. And then I have to close the whole app down and put it in. So I'm going to talk to you later. Tell me how you're doing. What are those things that stand out for you? So like for me, to recap, if you didn't catch it on part 1, my kids don't want a whole box curriculum. My self who likes to, I encourage you and myself to apply the container concept. Yes, in decluttering with homeschooling. My kids don't want a whole box curriculum because it's the same print, same delivery method, the same. It's just too much of the same for the whole day. They don't want a full video ride. They don't mind some video, but it has to be by different places, different deliveries. They don't want all BJU. We've done that, even though it'd be easier on me. I don't want extra stuff. So the person who loves stuff doesn't want extra stuff anymore. I like to open it. I like to touch it. I like to feel it. And then I don't know what in the world I'm supposed to do with it. So I don't want that. My kids do not want to have to depend on me to move forward. Awesome. But they also want the predictability of what is the next lesson. They want to be able to count down the lessons. So those over opinionated homeschoolers that I have are my middle school kids. And if I'm able to select what I need, give them a plan, and they can move on with it without me, then we have all won the challenge. And I'm excited, and it kind of opens me up to be a little bit excited again. Been balancing a toddler and baby on my lap, yes. I tend to really like to get in it when they're younger, but as they get older, I kind of like to step back. And there's part of me that's kind of ready to step back. I mean, I'm 11 years in homeschooling. Every year I've tried to quit. I've spent part of that year at one point homeschooling, like it or not. But trying to maintain the stamina, I have 11 years in. At this point, I don't perceive myself homeschooling through high school. I always thought I would. I couldn't consume an idea that why wouldn't I put them through high school? I'm going to have another video out soon talking about the changes that have happened to my homeschooler from being in high school, even though she didn't go full time. I now understand how flexible it is. I can kind of a la carte my public school just a bit, but it's enough to make life good. And at this point, I'm only really foreseeing myself homeschooling to 8th grade because of the program we have here. Now, if for some reason we moved, I would completely reevaluate that statement. But with the school system as they are right now, I'm learning to put conditions on it. I don't see myself homeschooling past 8th grade. So if that's the case, I only have 8 more years to go. And I'm trying to find that if I continue if I can finish it out for the next 8 years, how to maintain that stamina, kind of like an endurance runner. You're not running a speed race, and have that endurance to keep going. So that's what I'm working on. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's long forever video on the things I'm contemplating and thinking. Please, I look forward to your insight and your input. It does matter to me. I like to look up the things you tell me. But I'm going to get back with you soon. I randomly come on live because that's how my life is. Motherhood from the trenches. I've been doing a lot of cooking videos lately because, well, the box shows up, so it keeps me making videos. It keeps me accountable to make the videos, which I think I got another box come tomorrow. I don't know. But by the way, the Kung Pao chicken No, the Kung Pao beef bowls were not a favorite. I'll tell you about that tomorrow. Not a favorite. What else? I don't know. So you never know when I'm going to come on. So make sure you hit the subscribe and you hit the bell so you get notified when I'm on. And as I figure out more things and I go through and talk about, and let me know if you have any questions on how homeschool went this year, specifics, and I will try to make a video on that. I know you said they didn't want extras, but they need to understand that if they were in the public or private school, they would be doing, yeah, I know, but then also being in that school, I don't know. I'm not completely sold on it too much, which I get it, but I'm not sold on it because the other side of it too, and I think I'm not sold on it, is, it had some, oh, really? I'm gonna have to get deeper in there and look. They do 4-H, so they do project reports, project posters, speaking projects. We kind of cover all that through 4-H, and we don't do that in there. You know, like we don't do that in our schoolwork. We do that on our outside stuff, so we do plenty of it. All right, I'm gonna look at Duolingo. We did it, and I don't know. We did it back when she had one textbook, Logic of English, and not that she came out on the other ones. But I'm going to talk to y'all soon. I'm going to go check out Duolingo, and I will see you next time. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when I get on live. And I'll talk to you until my phone rings and freezes my thing. So until then, peace out.